Hey, hello, how's it going?
Yo, what's up, man?
I'm struggling a lot with what to do for the intro of my next video here.
What leader is it? Red Blue Ace?
Hmm, yeah, it's Red Blue Ace.
Well, you can always sit on the couch and just eat a donut or something.
Seems derivative.
Well, you got a better idea, buddy.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back to another video. I'm Mary TCG and this is 10 Dawn Testing. And look at this dickhead on screen right now who forgot to turn on his mic. So, you got me. Post-recording. But, as the format's just beginning, before any large events happen, we're going to cover the other best deck. A deck you play where you think you're not good enough to play Emu. Presenting, Ace.
We're ready for you, man. See you on set.
Let's get to work, Kiki.
And this is the deck we're going to be playing today. We've basically stolen this list card for card from a flagship winner, but hey, who needs to build a deck when you have people to do it for you, eh? So we're going to be playing 8 copies of the Searcher. We're going to be playing 4 Garp and 4 1-cost Ezo from ST22. We're going to be playing the Thatch from ST15, which lets you rip alive. We're going to be playing 1 copy of Jozu just as a searchable Rush 2k, 1 copy of 6-cost Yamato from EBO2 as a great card against Emu on curve. We're going to be playing 4 copies of this Uta 2k counter blocker, which has -4 cost if you control a character with a cost of 10,000 or more. We're going to be playing 2 copies of 9-gate, 2 copies of Goldie Roger, 1 copy of Taxpayer, and 4 copies of the new 10-cost Edward Newgate. Joining our 2Ks, we're also going to be playing 4 copies of Otama for 4 drops. We're going to be 2 copies of Charlotte Pudding, the Great Equalizer, 4 copies of Marco from PRBO2, and interestingly enough, we have chosen to play 2 copies of Atmos for the Mirror. And for mid-range characters, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Yamato, which draws 2 on play and attaches 1 Dawn to your leader. And we're going to be playing 3 copies of Joseph for the Mirror to remove any 6-cost Yamatos, 6-cost Aces, and our opponent's 6-cost Jozu. And to round it all off, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Rabbeam, 2 Red Rock, and 4 copies of I Am Whitebeard for our powerful 8 Dawn turn. Let's get to the games and let's see how we do. A great start here, winning the dice roll against Goldie Roger. We are going to mulligan. We're going to play out the 1-cost card, finding ourselves a 4-cost Marco, 1 Dawn on our leader. And our opponent's going to swing 6 at us. We're going to draw leader effect, draw 1, and we're going to go swing 6, play a Marco, playing our curve, feeling great. Our opponent play a bullet, ramp 1, swing 8 at us. We're going to use our leader effect, minus him by 2, and then 1k out of the attack. Back to us, we're going to play out the Yamato. We're going to go 2 7s at his leader while attaching a Dawn to our leader. Not removing the bullet, maybe it's a mistake, but let's see if we get punished. And passing back to our opponent here, our opponent plays out a second Douglas bullet and then plays out a Searcher Shanks, finding himself a 1-cost event. Our opponent's going to go 8 at us with a block with Marco, drawing 3 and 9 at us, which we are just going to effect and 2k out of the attack. Back to us, 8 down, we play I Am Whitebeard, playing 10 gate, drawing 2, trashing 1, 2 down under leader, 2 down under Yamato. Yamato putting the down on leader, we're going to go double 9s at him, putting them down to 1 life, feeling great. And you gotta think this is pretty much our game here. Our opponent plays 10 Shanks, swings at us, and we're just going to take drawing an extra card, and 6k coming at the Yamato, we're just going to block, and 7k at the Yamato, we are just going to use our leader effect. Passing back to us, we're just going to go ahead and red rock that body, attaching 1 down to the leader with the Yamato. We're going to sweat 7 to the 6, and 7 at lead, 4 down left open, and we're going to play out the Marco blocker. Our opponent has a fat hand here. Probably should not have ditched that pudding. But our opponent plays Goldie Roger. We're just going to block, draw 3 cards. Our opponent swings 7. We're just going to free block. And we're going to play Ezo, finding ourselves a Thatch. And we're going to play a second Ezo, finding ourselves a Newgate. And we're going to go 7 lead with the Yamato. Our opponent's going to have to counter. We're going to go attach a Dawn, swing 7 again. And counter again. We're not going to swing on the blocker to play around Goldie Roger. And just I Am Whitebeard into Newgate, drawing 2, trashing 1. And passing back to our opponent plays Sanji, taking his own life, and oh no. And what can he swing? He can swing 13, 15, and we'll just go ahead, take the 13k lead, draw an extra card, and we're just going to go ahead and over counter this 15. And that will be all she wrote. GG. For our second game of the day, we're going to lose the dice roll against Emu. A pretty 50-50 matchup depending on who wins the dice roll, who wins. But one done play guard, finding ourselves a blocker is not bad. Our opponent plays one cost earlier, finding himself a Saturn and then discarding a card. Leader effect is earlier, drawing a card. And he follows up with the one cost stage. What a high roll! And yeah, 7 in trash, nothing can be removed. Our turn, attach every dawn, swing at him. And oh my god, look at the accelerating gameplay. And passing back to our opponent uses stage, plays out Saturn finding himself a 10-drop. Leader effect, ditching Shirley, drawing a card. And the opponent debating whether to swing 6 or to just have one done up for the event. And decides to play out the one cost Shirahashi with an activate effect. We're going to discard the Thatch. Interesting decision. We're going to use our Searcher to just trade into that for free and then swing 7 at him, which he has to take. And fortunate for him, we have no pudding, so Marco's going to come down. Interesting decision. Our opponent has 3 down for the stage and plays out a Mars, popping our Marco. We use Marco to draw 2, leader drawing 1. And it's feeling pretty good. He's going to swing 6 at the Garp. We're just going to let it go and play a Charlos. Our turn now, we do top deck a Searcher, which finds us a not much, but Garp will find us Yamato drawing 2, putting 1 down, leader swing 7. He's going to take the block with Charlos, and our opponent plays out. What the heck is that? And popping both our Searchers and using leader effect, trashing it from field, drawing a card, and then our opponent's going to go out with a second Mars, popping our Yamato, and oh my god, our board is gone. And we're going to swing 6 with Saturn, we're going to counter, and 6 with leader, we're also going to counter. And 9 down now, I am Newgate, playing out Newgate, draw 2, trash 1, and we're going to go a big 7 at the Saturn. Don't really want to get poked out over and over again by these bodies, so we're just going to clear as much as we can. Our opponent swing 6, we're going to counter, and leader effect trashing it, and swing 6 again, which we are going to take, drawing 1. And our opponent plays like the 5 elders, using this effect, discarding a card, playing out the boys. And oh, he's missing Jupiter? That's good for us. Maybe a slight misplay on his part since he searched so much, but let's see if it costs him. And our opponent's just going to go 6, minusing our Newgate, and we're not going to free block it, just use our leader effect to counter. 10 down, play Newgate, draw 2, trash 1, and we're going to swing 8. Our opponent's going to block with Workery, I'm going to swing 14, and our opponent's going to block. Only 2 characters, not much of a threat. And our hand's looking pretty good. We have the Roger, we have double Marco, and we have an event and multiple Utas. Our opponent goes 6-6, which we're going to counter, and leader effect trashing Saturn, drawing a card, and he seems to have found the Jupiter. 10 draw, playing out the boys, discarding a card, and Saturn searching, gonna find himself another Jupiter. Our opponent's stage now, buffing his leader by 1k for during his turn, and only decides to swing 7k at us. We're gonna take draw a card, and we draw into a 9 gate, which we do debate whether we should play or not, but we decide not to. We're going to play a Garp, finding ourselves in Uta. We're going to swing 7 and play double Marco blocker since we're basically never dying this turn. We want to whittle down his hand enough just so we can drop down the Goldie Roger and kill him in 1 turn. Our opponent decided to start with a 7, which will easily leader effect and counter since we have 2 copies of that 8 cost event. Better ditch 1 to be safe. And now comes 8k. We're going to block draw 2 cards. So we're going to find ourselves the 2 Edward Newgate. We can definitely play the long game now. And now our opponent swings another 8, which we're just going to go ahead and counter that. Playing out the 10 drop, playing out the boys. And maybe we probably should have blocked since this is getting a free pop by Marcus Mars. But swing 8 now, we're just going to counter. And swing 8 again, we're going to double 2k out. Our hand is a lot of bricks and it's getting a little bit scary. But we're going to I am Newgate into the Edward Newgate, draw 2, trash 1. Debating playing out the Uta, but we are going to search with Ezo, which is unfortunate since the only target was another 10 drop. And our hand is a lot of bricks. We have 1 down up, we have 3 blockers up. We're basically never dying this turn. And next turn, we're just going to Goldie Roger for game. Our opponent swings 7, we're going to use the Ezo, draw 1, put 1 back. And we draw ourselves a 1k, which is okay. And swing 8 at us, we're going to find the free block. Swing 7 at us, we're just going to free 2k that. And swing 7 again, we're going to block. Since we have no 2k and we've used our leader effect already. And looking at the board state, there's no way we die, so since we do have an extra Dawn up for Rad Beam, our opponent's going to play a 10 drop, bring out the boys, and let's just see what he does. Our opponent recognizing that we actually have no 2k, which is a little scary of a situation for us, since he does now know that. And good thing Saturn missed. Our opponent's going to swing 7 with Even Baron to us. We're going to unfortunately have the Rad Beam out of it. And now we have 5 cards in hand. And doesn't really matter what this swings for. Nuga's going to get the free block. Anyway, our turn, we're just going to play down Goldie Roger. And hopefully he doesn't have it. Swing starting with a 6. Going to 2k, 12k. He's going to connect and he scoops. For our third game of the day, we're going to lose the dice roll again, but this time to the mirror. We do have Atmos in our opening hand, so we are going to keep. We start with an Ezo to find ourselves a blocker Nugate. Our opponent answered with his own Ezo, finding himself in the Atmos, and we top deck a Garp, so we're just going to play the Garp and swing 8. We find a Red Rock, which is ideal for us. The Red Rock is very important in this matchup, so we can remove their 10 drops since we are going second. Our opponent going to choose to counter out of the AK, which is interesting. His turn now playing out the 1 cost Otama, draw 2, trashing 1, and swing 9 at us. We're going to cycle our hand, find ourselves a Jozu. We're going to bottom deck a card, and we're going to take, of course. No Charlotte Pudding just yet. We are a little weak to Pudding, so we do decide to play out the Marco rather than the Yamato this turn, just to play around Charlotte Pudding a little bit better. Our opponent's going to go to 6 Dawn now, and playing out the Jozu, returning our Marco to our hand. We're just going to leader effect, ditching the Marco, minusing him down by 2. We're going to swing 7, and we're just going to use our Jozu to bounce his Jozu, just so we can win the Jozu war, and in preparation of a 10 drop coming down next turn. And our opponent swings 10 at us. We are going to go ahead and counter this, since he does 4 down up for the Pudding. But no, I am Whitebeard event means that we're basically winning the game. We're going to start with 1 cost event. Of course, we're going to find a Pudding. I am Whitebeard, and then you get draw 2, trashing 1, 2 down under leader, 2 down under Jozu. Swing 8 to him, and then swing 9 to him. This feels good. We are in a winning position. We have Red Rock for his upcoming 10 drop next turn. We have a Pudding in our hands for when we need it, and this game looks just about wrapped up. Our opponent's going to go ahead and play the 10 cost Nugget, drawing 2 and trashing 1, trashing a second Charlotte Pudding, and swing 8, and we're just going to free block. We're going to go ahead and Red Rock his 10 drop, swing 12 at him, 4 down up for a Pudding. If he takes this, we're going to drop Charlotte Pudding, the great equalizer, and then we're going to swing 6 at his leader. He's going to 1k out, and then swing 7. He's just going to leader effect, minusing it by 2. Our opponent now plays 1 cost Otama twice, and finally finds himself the combo. Plays 8 cost event in the 10 cost and again swing 8 at us. We're just going to take draw 1. And oh my god, we've drawn a Red Rock. He is going to be fuming. We're just going to go 8 lead and 8, 9, and 12 at him, since we are just completely winning this game. Let's see if we can kill him. And 8 he's going to take, 9 he's going to counter, and 12 he's going to take. And our opponent basically no options now, swing 6 for the leader effect counter, and he's going to play out a Yamato's, try to swing 7 with a leader effect, minusing it by 2, and play out Marco. We're going to go the Roger unblockable and GG. For our last game of the day here, we're going to queue against Bello Betty. We're going to go ahead and lose the dice roll, but our hand is we're going to play the 1 cost Searcher, finding 8 cost event, which is pretty good. We do have a play on 5 and a play on 7, which is ideal, but our opponent does go double Searcher here, which means we're in a very rough spot. Nothing to play on 3 Dom, which is normal, so just 1 Dom under our leader and pass. Deciding not to swing against Bello Bay, just in case we do hit a trigger. We are trying to play the attrition game here since we are ace. And our opponent does play out a 4 cost with no effect, giving our room to breathe, so we do develop this Marco instead of Yamato, which is quite nice. Our opponent plays Ivankov into Ivankov, and they just hit the high roll nuts. We're going to Ezo, draw 1, put 1 back, and 6 at us. We're going to leader effect away the other blocker in our hand. Our opponent uses effect here, buffing his board and playing out a Karasu. Swings 5, we're just going to take the free block. And our opponent swings 8, we're just going to take draw 1. No Jozu, no Atmos, and this is really rough for us. We're going to go 9k playing out the Yamato and clearing only 1 body. It's not looking good for us. Our opponent discards a Usopp? Seriously? We're losing to this? And finding himself a second Karasu, which, what can you do? Leader effect here, buffing his board, and swing 8k, managing me down to 5. We're going to block, draw 2, and we finally find that Jozu, but a lot of bricks in our hand here. that Karasu is going to do work, especially if he does decide to play the second one, which means we have to take 2 more lives. We're now a 4k leader from 6k and 8k at us. We're just going to go ahead and take 6k. We are going to counter this 1 leader effect and 1k and Rusher here, but his hand is empty. 8k we're going to take, 8k we're just going to go ahead and counter that one, and 5k we're going to 2k out. And our opponent has no cards in hand, which means his board is mine. And we're going to start with a Garp. Garp's going to find me an Amos. I am Whitebeard into Newgate, draw 2, trash 1. And now we're kind of just praying our opponent does not know his numbers and get everything wrong. Our opponent uses Stage here, finding a Karasu, which he has to ditch for leader effect. Opponent has 4 swings, but we have 1 blocker. Let's see if it's enough. I really need him to mess something up here. Maybe we should have left an extra Dawn up for Rat Beam. That was probably a mistake. Our opponent swings 7. We're going to 2k out. And, okay. I can see it. Our opponent swings 8. We're going to go ahead and leader effect 1k. Okay. If he gets his number wrong, we live. Please. Uh-oh. Our opponent goes 10k. We're just short, so we have to block. And he owns a leader, and we die. Once again, thank you all for watching this far into the video, and you might notice there's a lack of outro in this video, and I forgot to record one, and in editing I can't be bothered, so you have this out screen. Woo! And yeah, please like and subscribe. Woo! And shout outs to all my channel members as usual on screen right now. If you have any questions or if you have any leaders you would like me to cover, please leave a comment down below. And see you guys next time. Bye.